off the alcohol, back to the pills. The purple pills.
Time for your vitamins.
Right.
I will say this though. I've never touched anything, and I refuse to, only because I don't trust myself.
Wait, I thought you drank before. Oh.
No, I've like smelled stuff. Like, hey, try this. I'm like, what is it? Smell it. This smells like crap. Why would I drink this? Like it just. The only thing that smells good, honestly, is I saw them. No, I was at a wine bar and they made this like cocktail with like espresso, and like
an espresso martini.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow, like if I did drink, that would be it, because it's got my favorite coffee.
Yeah.
Espresso
martini is usually made with vodka.
And there's like something with like chocolate in it or whatever that went with it too. The Kahlua or something like that or whatever. I don't know, but
it might be depending.
Bailey something, but either way, I had anger issues as a kid. So when my friends started drinking and all that, I was like, nah, I'm not. I don't want to know what's in the bees, because again, my dad, I was told growing up that he was abusive when I was a baby, and he had alcohol issues. So I'm just like, well, I'm not opening that door. I don't trust myself.
What is it that Jordan Peterson says? A harmless man is not a good man.
Correct.
A good man is a monster who can control himself. That is a peaceful man is not a harmless man. Something like that.
A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very, very dangerous man who has that under voluntary control, civilized and disciplined. You should be a monster, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no, you should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it.
I've been that monster. And I mean, I've done a lot. I mean, some of my life, you know what I'm saying? Like I've done a lot. And I've seen a lot, and I've had a lot happen. So I've been that monster, and to contain that monster and just want peace. I think that a lot of women can't provide peace to their man. Number one, they can't provide it to themselves.
First.
And they can't provide it to themselves because they haven't. If you cannot provide peace to yourself, you cannot create a peaceful environment for someone else. You haven't even done it for yourself.
Absolutely not. It'll never work.
And you need help.
No, it's interesting that you said that, because one of the things that I see, so when I used to be on dating apps, for instance, one of the things I noticed was the girls would always say, make me laugh, entertain me, or I'm bored. And so what I see is the need for external resources to ease the mind or to create distraction. And secretly, obviously, I never had the conversation with them. It would have been great to see what their response would have been. But my thing is what do you need distraction from? What are you running from, within yourself? And because at the end of the day, man's superpower is the ability to think about nothing. Absolutely nothing. And
or the Roman Empire. Men think about the Roman Empire.
Really?
Do they not?
I don't really. I think about Vikings. Like my mind goes to Vikings.
Okay, that's kind of the same thing.
Okay, yeah. Like I will say, like I'm constantly like. Actually, when I was working out today, I was on this. YouTube has like a Vikings, like you can just look up Viking warrior music that plays for 10 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's good stuff. I got the crow in the background, and a bunch of crazy.
My mom would say, "I love this. I'm gonna get a tattoo right here." My mom said, "I'm so little, my brother's so big because Vikings and pixies got together and made babies." And it's true.
Pixies.
Fairies.
And the first thing comes to my mind is Tinkerbell.
So it's true in the sense that I'm Irish, Nordic, and Scottish. Like that's almost my full DNA panel. Yeah. It's about 30% of each. So in a sense, it's true. What she said. As crazy as it sounded, I used to laugh all the time. She was like, no, Picts, people who had tattoos, like more like Celtics. And I'm like, no. She said pixies. And I was like, oh, because her brother's a foot taller than her. He was like 6'2" or something like that. She was like 5'2". My brother's 5'10". I'm 4'11". We're like a foot apart. And it's just the boys in her family. My cousin Andy, he's 6 something. Now his sister, she's probably like 5'7". He's not a whole foot, but also his dad was tall, so he has height but the boys on my mom's side of the family are just big. And so she used to say that. And so anyways,
I like that.
We can get back on topic.
It's okay. No, but I mean, it's peace is. Now I will say this: studying Bushido, Way of the Warrior, developing my warrior mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, as you said that, and as I'm processing right now live, I'm realizing like I don't really crave peace, because peace to me would make me weak, would make me soft.
No.
But, because by being in the trenches, hustling, working on myself, developing, trying to hold myself accountable for fitness goals, financial goals, mental goals, writing my memoir, bubble, you can't have peace. For me, I'm not going to say you can't. For me,
now is not the time for peace.
Yes.
But the thing is, you still need peace. And I'm saying it as in, you have to have a time for peace. There's a time for war and a time for peace. And even within your weekly routine, you have to have time for peace. Now, what your peace looks like, I cannot tell you, but you have to have time for peace. Your peace can be you in the gym for 2 hours a day. That can be your garden. You know what I'm saying? That can be where you garden.
Okay.
And where you tend to. Your peace can be anything that's not chaotic.
Okay.
So anything that is not chaotic, that's where you find your peace. Your peace could be when you cook dinner, when you meal prep. Yeah. Your peace could be watching TV. Maybe that's what you're thinking about peace. I can just chill, relax, and not worry about anything. Yeah. You just sat here and said men have the ability to think about nothing.
Correct.
And if men have the ability to think about nothing, then your peace is whenever you are in those stages that you can think about nothing and turn your 10 hours of Viking music on and just go.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe your peace is when you're drifting.
Yeah, for sure.
See?
Yeah,
See? And maybe you just can't drift right now, and that's fine. But your peace is when you're drifting. So, like, what do you mean you can't have peace? That is crazy. Every person can have peace, and I think every person deserves peace. And it's when you can create that peace for yourself that you then can be and create that peace for someone else.
That I would have to agree. That's where I would move into inner work, and because the peace has to start from within. One of the things I do know I was unfortunately bad at doing was looking externally for peaceful experiences or solutions, turning to women, for peace in a format of validation, like, oh, come snuggle up next to me. Okay, now this is just right. I can stay here forever. Right. But then what are you doing? You're not taking action. You're not moving forward. You're just, you become stagnant. And that moment might be nice, and maybe you develop a great relationship with that person, but you can get addicted to that as well. Yeah. Or, having that consistently to me would create softness, you know. And unfortunately, again, humans are humans, and that could get tiring for somebody, boring for somebody over time. Yeah. It is also scientific proof that women need stimulation in more ways than one. You can't do the same thing over and over again.
No, I kind of like routine.
You like
do I?
I don't know. I mean, your background would make sense that you.
There are a lot of things. It's so funny because I don't like changes in my routine. The things that I do, I know what I do. I know when I do it. I like that. That is stability. That is, I want that. And one thing is that when you have a routine, you can then discipline yourself in different areas because you can create new routines.
That's true.
And discipline is freedom. So with that, but at the same time, I could be like, I don't have any plans this weekend. Let me go to Des Moines and find a great food place. Des Moines 2.5 hours away. It's not like it's a great place to go visit, but like, for a weekend trip just to be someplace that's not here, every city has history. And so that's the thing, like, oh, let's
That's
go.
fair.
You know, I just sat here and planned out this whole road trip to go to the Redwoods, and my daughter, my 7-year-old, said, Mommy, can we go to Florida instead? So after spending hours planning a road trip, which would have been great, I had to turn around, and I didn't really plan one. We just drove, and it was not fun because I like to stop. Okay, I like to stop, but this time I had to just go. So my routine was different when I'm in the car because I like to stop every 3-ish hours, give or take, and see something, and then we can take a day to get there, and it's taking our time.
Yeah,
I was feeling
that's
rushed.
a real road trip.
Yeah, and this time it just wasn't. It wasn't that. But it was a good trip.
Nice.
But yeah, it wasn't that, and it was like, okay. So there are things. I like new foods. I like new restaurants. I like,
Same.
you know, so that's something else. But when I cook, I get the same meats. I get the same little prosciutto rolls. I get the same, you know, especially when I'm doing meat. Like, I might get some lamb or some oxtail if they happen to have it. Easily distracted here.
So, actually, that's a good segue. You know, distractions are quite the conundrum or the confinement of the human mind, because, you know, in doing so, it keeps us from using our hands or our time more wisely to edify one's life, to move forward, or to simply chase after one's goal, you know. And I find that, I'm reading a book right now that I highly recommend called Take the Stairs. And in the particular page that I'm on, it talks about like active and inactive procrastination. And there's a different terminology that it uses, but I'm just giving an example. So the levels of procrastination, there's 3 types of procrastinations. And the one in particular it talks about is when you're procrastinating by doing something that keeps you from doing what you need to do. So you prioritize something that's not a priority.
I think that's my procrastination. What are the other types of procrastination?
Well, there's like straight up procrastination where like you're putting something off. There's procrastination where the second one is the most common, where you are staying busy by taking on a bunch of things and not really finishing anything. Sorry, taking on a bunch of things, not really finishing anything, so that you're busy. And then the third one is prioritizing something that's not a priority in order to keep from doing anything that's a priority.
I don't know which one I am, but I definitely
so that you feel like you've accomplished something.
Okay, but here's the thing. I procrastinate. The fact that I still get things done when I procrastinate is why I still procrastinate. If I didn't get anything done,
then you feel bad.
So the fact that I still get done what I need to get done, it might take a month, but I still get it done.
Right.
Or I get everything done by the deadline.
And that's the thing. Procrastination doesn't mean you don't do it, but you put off doing it in a timely fashion.
Yes. You know, when I was in school, when I was in college, I would sit here and it's due, I think, midnight on Sunday. I'd be up Saturday night writing a 5-page essay.
Yep.
And you know what? I think I do really well under pressure.
Same.
I do. And so I'm way better at things. One thing, I can't multitask. Someone said, if you think you're a great multitasker, you probably aren't. And I thought about it, and I started looking at myself, and I'm not. I'll do something to do something else and do something else, and then I won't finish it. Right. I'll be procrastinating. So I'm like, yeah. I can't multitask, but I'm great under pressure. That part is true.
Now here's a real question. For those of us that are great under pressure, is that a skill set that we built from procrastinating, or was it an innate talent within us naturally?
No, because I'm great under pressure, under real pressure, like under people shooting around you, or people yelling at you. I don't have to be like, can you just stop so I can do this? It's like, I got this. I will tune you out and I will get done what needs to get done. Okay. And so, no, when I say great under pressure, it's not just
like timely.
It's not just timely.
Okay.
Okay. It is a high pressure situation is like, okay.
Life's on the line.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, like I can work. I don't freeze up under pressure.
Good.
So I think that's probably going to be more so where it's at. You know, do you freeze under pressure? Do you know?
Now,
I don't.
Is that a talent, or did you develop that?
I mean, I probably developed it, but I mean, I had an alcoholic abusive father.
Okay.
Then I joined the Marine Corps. So I think my life path was be good under pressure. Be good under pressure or bad things happen.
Okay.
So
Fair.
So, you know, when you look at that, it's like, is it? You know, I don't know.
Nice.
Anyways,
I like that.
any more questions on what the purple pill is? Because we can probably end this episode and start a new one.
Oh, we could. You know, I think the purple pill is a great combination of tackling both sides.
Yeah.
I do like that because red pill can sometimes be very pointy fingery.
If I
Because
find
like my
it.
thing is, and even for myself, you know, I'm a selfish man. I, you know, reach a level of success that my life can be an example for others, but it's also to have options to choose who I want to have.
And
you know, and,
You-
and not having kids, just to have and say, hey, you're really attractive. I'd
women
like to show
should
you a
have
good time.
options too. And the
They
reason
can,
why
but there are social dilemmas
Constructs.
with that. Because here's the thing, you know, let's be very real here. You are somebody that I find attractive because
Mm-hmm.
of how you carry yourself. If you were on Snapchat and TikTok shaking your thing, and you know, with Tyrone,
I was
and
like, I am on
da-da-da-da-da.
Snapchat and TikTok, but I'm not shaking nothing.
Yeah, exactly. If you're, you know, doing that, you had an OnlyFans account, I
Right.
wouldn't have the same level of respect for you.
Right.
So,
Of course not.
You know,
no.
and for I guess I can't speak for all
Because
men.
that's the level of respect I have for myself.
Correct.
And that's
But-
what I think women don't understand.
Now, and that's the thing. So when women have options, your options should not be multiple partners. I think your options should be what you want to have. But just like me, because I can't speak for all men, you have to be worthy of what you want.
So, oh yeah, I agree. Now here's the thing. With options, why I say women should have options.
Okay.
This is why I say that, and I agree. It's not multiple partners. Women should have options because the man that I marry is who I need to be able to submit to.
Oh yeah.
I have to trust this man enough to submit to him and do the things he asks of me. And if I do not trust him, then I should not be with him and I should not marry him.
Facts.
And that is something women are going to hear, submit. I need to have the options. I need to know and trust the man. And that doesn't mean that the first man I meet, maybe he could be, you know, great. But I don't need a man that I need to just know. And maybe options is not the correct word.
Okay.
Okay. But I can't submit to just anybody.
Fair.
So if you can't even submit for me, are you submitting to the Lord? Because if not, if you are the final authority, you know, and even again, when you look at women who are very submissive in other religions, they submit to their God. So it's like, when you look at this, I trust you because you can submit to the Lord. Mm-hmm. I can submit to you because I trust your decisions. Does that mean you're always going to make a great decision?
Right.
No, but I can trust you because I trust him.
Right.
And so women don't want to hear that stuff, but I need to be able to make the right decision in whom I'm choosing. And I will have better options if I have more respect for myself, because men value respect over love. Men want to be loved, but they need respect.
Correct. Yep. First.
So, anyway, so welcome to the Purple Pill.
Yes.
And we